What is up, everyone? So recently a lot of people have been asking me if I still do Smash Ultimate sessions, and yes, actually I still do, and I never stopped. I've been doing it now for roughly 4 years. Typically I do anything from 4 to 7 sessions every day, except Fridays and Saturdays. Anything from 8 AM to 8 PM works just fine with me. Any player level is welcome. I've had tons of sessions with people who literally got Smash 1 week before their session. Obviously I've also had a ton of mid-level players, high-level players, and even top-level players that you currently see in tournament. Most of which probably want to remain nameless. Either way, they all get much better with each session. There's been a ton of students who couldn't win a single game in tournament, and now they're either winning their locals or consistently making top 3. So the price is currently $15 for a 20-minute session or $35 for a 1-hour session. And if you want to book one or just generally get more information about the session, then you can click the Discord link below, join it, and private message me. Also, sessions are also streamed to allow you to re-watch your session on Twitch. Unless you don't really want it to be streamed, which is fine, it doesn't have to be. Anyways, during the stream, I mentioned everything that you do, don't do, could do better or differently, and we'll also talk about it right after. As well as I'll teach you anything that you need to learn at your current level, I'll answer any question, and I'll give you a plan for what to work on and how. Also, usually high to top level players don't usually fight me for best of 5, instead what they do is that they bring me VODs to review, and that way I guess it's more relevant to them because they learn how to beat what they need to beat in the current moment. Anyways, feel free to hit me up on Discord and enjoy the video. With each legend, there has been a worthy hero, none of them as legendary and fierce as the little fairy boy himself, Link, the hero of time. Full of energy, courageous, determined, nimble, and quick on his feet, he'll keep you out with projectiles, fight you up close if he needs to, and if anything ends up hitting, he'll combo the hell out of you. He's a pretty technical character to play with a very flexible playstyle. His main weaknesses are his recovery, he can struggle to find a kill, and he has really low range, especially if you're at mid-range distance with him where it would be risky for him to throw a projectile. His neutral is really hard to explain as it's really about using every single tool in his kit. However, starting off simple and progressively getting more complex is generally better than immediately starting off complex and all over the place. Neutral is less about how you play and more about how you make the opponent play around all the projectiles and setups. You either throw projectiles from a distance and convert off of it if anything is about to hit, as well as punish how they try to work around the projectiles to approach you. This, in combination with moving in and out with close range pressure, is really important as his close range pressure can be amazing because of its safety, mix-up potential, and ability to start some awesome combos. Let's start off with close range pressure and combos. Neutral air has an initial sweet spot and a long-lasting sour spot, both of which are safe against shield, only the sweet spot being a bit safer. Neutral air has a ton of mix-ups. You could buffer neutral air and double jump out of it with another neutral air or any other option. The first neutral air is punishable if you're quick enough, however. You can short hop and initiate the neutral air low on shield, which is the safest way to pressure a shield, as you can neutral air right after, jump away with boomerang, shield right after, which is only good if you've spaced the neutral air or if you crossed it up, making it even safer. You could also full hop neutral air and fast fall right on top of shields, which not only beats full hops really well, but will also stuff out jumps out of shield, and can be generally safe against shield, but definitely not the safest version as some characters can potentially punish it. This is why you could also full hop neutral air, delay the fastfall, and land with another neutral air low on shield, which again is the safest version. At the end of the day, however, the best part of neutral air is its anti-air potential and mix-up potential. Using all the variations of neutral air in a creative way will always be better than only sticking to one, as soon as you become predictable, the neutral air will start getting punished by up smashes, swift punishes, and even perfect shields. In fact, as long as you land neutral air as low as possible on shield, you could jab to try interrupting aggression from the opponent as long as it's not too fast. Of course, this can also work from a full hop fastfall neutral air, but it's going to be way less safe and reliable compared to the low landed neutral air. Either way, if you end up hitting a shield with jab, you could always choose to cancel it after 1 or 2 slashes, as it's very safe to do so. Either that, or you finish it off with a triple jab or the rapid jab for mix-ups. Both of these finishers are way more punishable than just ending it with jab 1 or 2, however. And of course, the best part of neutral air is its combo potential. Of course, the majority of these combos will get affected by DI, which is the hardest part about his combo game, in that you have to adjust and read the opponent and how you think they will escape the combo with projectiles or other kinds of extensions. At mid percents, the sweet spot will start setting up into tech situations, which you can choose to punish with a projectile, or dash in against it if you feel like you have the read. As for the sour spot, it'll also set up for a tech situation at higher percents, in which case you could try going for the same options. On top of all of this, it's one of the best edge guarding tools because of how long it lasts and all the things it can lead into. Neutral could also be played with forward air, and as long as you fastball and land the second hit as low as possible, it'll also be safe against shield. Even better most of the time is to land the first hit of forward air, which is also safe, but of course even safer if you space it, since it'll allow you to down tilt right after, which also is typically safe against shield, especially when spaced. Once you land the forward air, you can also jab to intercept opponents, jump neutral air, jump away boomerang, full hop high above them, shield, spot dodge, dash away, or roll away. Basically, the mix-ups are endless and should be adjusted most of the time to counter what the opponent typically does out of shield. He can also back air into neutral air, back air into back air into up air, or back air into double jump aerial, all of which are really hard to punish. Hitting the buffered back air will give you a ton of different combos. The only thing to think about sometimes is that if you move too much towards an opponent, the back air won't fully connect, so you'll have to try drifting towards them a bit less for it to fully connect sometimes. As for hitting the first hit of back air, it'll provide you with even more combos. Especially at higher percents, where you can now start kill confirming with it. Up air is decent against shield as well if it's landed and crossed up versus a few matchups that struggle to beat it. Of course, the landing hit will always provide a simple combo as well. Otherwise, it could always be short hopped and buffered to beat full hops or beating people landing on top of you, but most of the time it'll be used to try killing the opponent. Speaking of killing, down air will be perfect for it, especially the early frames of down air, which is stronger. Otherwise, the aerial will mostly be used to try landing with, as not only does it have very little landing lag and needs to be reacted to very fast to be punished, but it can also be auto-cancelled if you know when to land it just as the attack ends. If the aerial isn't fast fallen, it'll bounce on hit for potential combos, and on shield, which also is punishable if you react fast enough. Although being a decent mix-up in neutral, it'll mostly be used as a combo finisher. And then he has his Zair, which shouldn't be something you fish for too much, but instead occasionally use whenever you've already jumped, but forward air will be out of range, or if you feel like projectile will be too committal, then you can land with hookshot instead. And if it hits, it'll reward you with a ton of combos as well. It can also be useful after you jump and throw a bomb. The hookshot will be a really good grab mix-up while grounded to try whiff punishing and catching landings. The combos he gets are pretty straightforward too. From 0 to 20%, you'll want to down throw to back air for optimal damage, and then after roughly 20%, you can either down throw or up throw into up air till around 70%. After that, it becomes a bit more of an attempt to try trapping the opponent, as they can only try air dodging or double jumping, both of which you can try to outplay. Forward throw becomes a kill throw once the opponent are at really high percents. It's also really fast if you immediately throw, making it really hard for the opponent to DI correctly. Back throw is just for throwing opponents off stage to try attempting an edge guard. The hookshot could potentially be used out of shield, but it's a bit slow and punishable. Much better is to just neutral air while moving away, or go for spin attack, which will grant you pretty much the same combos as his down throw. From 0 to 20, you'll want to do back airs or just get an up air. The only difference is that both you and the opponent have to react to whether the last hit is on the right side, in which case they need to DI to the right, or if it's on the left side, in which case they need to DI to the left, to basically try neglecting the combo, and again, turn it into more of a trap situation to catch double jumps or air dodges. If they DI wrong, however, it'll lead into up airs for long enough where it might end up killing you, especially if you jump double jump up air. Careful, however, as if you're trying to punish something that is too safe, it'll get shielded and punished. Up smash is another potential out of shield option to try killing an opponent, or as a hard commitment to catch aggressive landings. And if it hits, you'll be hitting the tipper of up smash, which kills a bit earlier. Down smash can be used to punish ledge stalls or as a mix-up during tick chasing to launch an opponent off stage. Forward smash is basically only for hard reading an opponent and punish predictable or bad decisions. Forward tilt is occasionally used as mix-up aggression to try keeping some of the smaller characters out. Up tilt is a decent anti-air to catch landings, and if you connect the back hit, you'll always be able to combo at lower percents. Dash attack is a potential aggressive mix-up to punish landings and whiffs. It can also kill at really high percents. And finally, there's the Deku Shield, which will block almost any projectile when standing still, crouching, or walking slowly. And it's way more beneficial than shielding or parrying. Be careful though, as projectiles can be aimed to hit your head or feet. First off, most of the time, projectiles should be thrown or picked up while moving. Standing still while using them stales your mobility greatly. Good projectile play requires you to understand how the opponent should play against projectiles. The general rule for playing against projectiles is to separate the projectile avoiding game and approaching game, rather than trying to avoid projectiles and approach at the same time, as that just means that your movement and options were manipulated by the projectiles you tried avoiding, and you forced an approach, which is exactly what young Link wants. Instead, once again, you should patiently try to avoid and work around projectiles so that you can get into a good position first. Once you are in a good position, you can finally start playing the approaching game. The right position will typically be here, where Link's range is too low to contest you, while also being in a position where it's too risky for Link to throw projectiles. And even then, while in this position, not only should you approach, but you should also mix up with faking out your approaches, to bait Link into preemptively throwing out an option in anticipation of your approach. This is also why it's important for you to move while throwing a projectile, as soon as you see that the opponent might be in a position to approach. These exchanges are what separates the good Links from the bad Links. It's also recommended to not buffer projectiles so much, or in other words, not do so many preemptive projectiles, and instead try your best timing each projectile to avoid falling into a habit of just mindlessly throwing projectiles. And so, projectiles are not just used to actually hit the opponent and deal damage from a distance, but any projectile that is avoided can be equally as valuable as long as you punish the way they are trying to avoid it. Arrows won't really combo at low percents, and will only realistically combo around mid percents if you jump in while shooting them. And so if they hit at low percents, you either have to read what they will do after they get hit for a potential follow-up, or just keep throwing projectiles. This is also another benefit to approach at close combat and try winning neutral, to instead start an optimal opening. Jumping away and B-reversing an arrow can be great for starting combos, but most importantly will be through experience and time to learn all the crazy arrow combos that exist and the percents for how to extend into even more arrows and potentially find kills, as knowing when you can short hop in after the first arrow or full hop in can clutch games out for you. The boomerang can also be good at low percents, especially when you jump in with it aggressively at close range, since it's safe against shield. And it will always provide crazy combos. The mid-range or long-range boomerang won't really combo till mid to high percents into an arrow, and if you jump in with the arrow you'll be able to follow up into more, and even potentially kill. The boomerang can be adjusted up or down to cover full hops or slightly up or down to cover short hops. You can do a soft and a hard throw depending on whether you tilt or smash the input, as well as you can jump and B-reverse the boomerang for mix-ups. If the boomerang is missed, it'll come back and serve as really good pressure, as if the returning boomerang hits, it'll connect into anything, as well as you can knock them into the boomerang with almost any move and get a flashy combo. Otherwise, it can also come back and break combos or condition shields and jumps that can be anti-aired. Bombs should only be picked up when it's safe and called for, mostly for additional projectile pressure. Pulling out bombs when you are being rushed down or stressed in general is usually a bad idea. Bombs will always combo into something. However, the explosion is a multi-hit, so the launch is always a 50-50. Sometimes they get launched to the left and sometimes to the right, so sometimes you'll just have the chance to try getting your kill confirms. Bombs are also great out of shield, which you can do automatically by holding shield and pressing jump and attack, making it your fastest out of shield option, which also provides combos. The fuse for the bomb are roughly 4 seconds, so it can sometimes be beneficial to quickly pick out one before recovering, as it might save you. One advanced technique is to pull out a bomb, air dodge upwards, then double jump and up special to give yourself a little bit more time for the bomb to explode. You could also pull out a bomb as you recover, grab the ledge, and time your get up so that it explodes during your invincibility frames, making it harder for them to deal with you. You can also release the ledge and immediately click yourself back towards the stage. Then quickly C-stick upwards to up throw the bomb, tech jump the bomb, and use any other mix-up to get back to stage. But most of the time, bombs are mostly beneficial for edge guarding and ledge trapping. The Z-dropped bomb can cover ledge stalls, double jumps back in, and ledge attacks. It won't cover neutral get-ups, ledge jumps, or ledge rolls, however. Regular get-ups or ledge jumps you can try covering with neutral air, which is very hard to get against smaller opponents. Focus too much on this, however, and the opponent will get away with ledge rolling against you, which is the most annoying option, as you'll mostly have to read it and preemptively cover it, with something like a fade back neutral air, dash back forward tilt, jump back boomerang, or an up smash read, for example, which might mean that you miss out on punishing regular get-ups or ledge jumps, but at least they'll still be cornered and you'll still have a chance at reading how they want to try getting back into the middle stage. And so, most of the time, his ledge trapping will be a bit more preemptive than other characters to try covering as many options as you can. You could try planting a bomb, stand at roll distance, react to regular get-ups or double jumps with an arrow, then cover rolls with down tilt, but it's pretty hard and the opponent can just ledge jump anyway. Otherwise, you'll also be able to hit people at the ledge with forward tilt, down tilt, or down smash, all of which could potentially kill. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this content and want to see more of it, then please consider donating to my Patreon, as it's realistically the only way I can keep doing these videos, as YouTube doesn't really give me much. Otherwise, you can also follow me on Twitter or Twitch to see me live stream. Until next time.